Now, all right. Farmers, Nerd Farmcast, episode 47. I am Burke. You know me
Oh,
on Twitter as at BurkeBeNice. And my associate here,
is Kevin, and you know me on Twitter as at Kevin Apocalypse.
and this is. Why did it not present to everyone? Now it's presenting to everyone. Uh,
Well, hi.
there, and it's like, it should have presented you to everyone. See? There's Kevin. There it is. There we
Hi.
go.
I'm here.
Good. And it's
I'm present.
And it's actually going. This is our second take for everyone who joined the first one, which I don't see any viewers. I don't think there's viewers the first time either. But uh,
An audience.
yeah, exactly. Like right now, uh, the first thing I want to talk about until before we get into Uncharted 4 is I
Mm.
wanted Kevin to talk about. He is a one of the few people that I've ever known to be kicked out of Canada, and I guess apparently it's happened twice. I think
Twice.
the
Two
last
times.
time the last time it was tweeted pretty well. I was enjoying following the story, but I'd rather it come straight
Right.
from the goat's mouth here. So what do you got for us, Kevin? How do you get deported from Canada?
Okay. Well, from the goat's mouth. Uh, we won't even mention the first time because that was another debacle. Because that one's an innocent time. There was still, there was some chance for mess ups. But this time, I go with my boss to Canada. We were supposed to go do a show in Calgary. However, we ended up in Toronto first because he thought it would be better to get a work visa there or easier in some way. Basically, long story short, he got one there somehow, and he was like, "Hey, they'll give him there, fantastic." And I was just dubious about the whole thing. I was like, "I'm pretty sure you need to have your paperwork like all like up front and whatnot." And he's like, "No, no, no, no. You just go there, say you're there for work, and then you buy a work visa. High fives all around." I'm like, "Okay." And then in line, I'm just like, I get this feeling, I get like my spider sense tingle about it. Maybe it was all the Canadian customs agents staring me down, seeing my Americanness full and because I was wearing the Hulk Hogan tank top that day,
Oh, that's
and
that's exactly why you didn't get in.
yeah, yeah, yeah. And of course my my American flag wind blazer was on
Yeah.
as well, but because it was a cold flight, and we got up there, and I remember saying very expressly to him, I look and goes, "Are you sure that it's as easy as you're making it out to be?" And he was like, "Yeah, yeah, it's gonna be no problem." I'm just like, I remember literally telling him, "No good plan survives first contact with the enemy, friend." And he just kind of looked at me like, you're being like pessimistic, da 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 da. But almost immediately, when we get up to the counter, they're just like, "Kevin, you've been flagged before." I'm just like, "Huh? What's that?" And they're like, "Yeah, yeah, you've been. So I'm gonna let you guys know. You better have some really good paperwork for what you're doing." Because we told them we're there, the work, sell shirts, yada yada, all for the good of merchandising and licensing.
Of mankind,
And
you're putting clothes on people's backs. This is
yeah,
you're actually on a humanitarian trip into Canada
I should have said that it was a mission. We're on a mission.
on a mission.
but but my boss like produces this paperwork from his what was like an email, and he opened up his laptop and he's like, "Yeah, here you go. This is it. This is the express like mission statement." And they're like, "Okay, yeah, this is not good enough to get you into the country." It was basically how they put it out. And their whole thing is that they are so steadfast in protecting Canadian jobs that if you go there and you're literally not like a brain surgeon, or as he put it himself in his little French accent, part of Cirque du Soleil,
Yes.
if you were not part of their group or organization, then there's no real reason for an American to do any sort of work there. What are you doing? We're selling T-shirts. And he was like, "Yeah, that's low impact. You don't need to be here. Your company could have
Yeah.
hired Canadians to do it." And it was already like, ooh, well. And I kind of
Well,
tried to tell him like, well, I fold shirts real fast. It's pretty impressive. And he's like, "Yeah, but unless it's freakish or you're part of some sort of competition, you're not allowed to be here." And as we learned, they kind of like mentioned, like, "Okay, you guys seem cool. Basically what you have to do is you have to withdraw your application into our country because that's how it's going to look on paperwork." But
yeah.
we don't want to say it's a forceful ejection, is what it basically is.
Yeah.
Like you come, you didn't conquer, get the hell out, is what they're saying, and they're saying that's
Well,
the easiest way to do it. Mhm.
It's also like we're not saying you're fired, but we would like you to resign. It's like, yeah, you're
Exactly.
essentially fired. Yeah.
That's the whole thing. But there's what it comes down to. There's more paperwork for forcefully ejecting somebody from the country. So they were like that. I don't want to go through it. It seemed like there was a lengthy amount of paperwork as is, but of course I was messing with the custom agents and having fun with them and asking questions left and right. And they were just like, yeah, so you guys are cool. We're gonna let you spend the night like at a hotel or something of your choice. Like, go enjoy one night in Canada, but come back. Because he said it very stern, like, but come back.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, what do you think I'm gonna do? Like, live like Wolverine in the woods and start a new life, like eating beaver and foraging for maple syrup? Like, what? I can't like do anything without an ID or a passport.
Well, I was gonna. Yeah. Oh, see, I forgot they took your ID and passport. I was gonna say,
Yep,
um,
yep, they take it.
you could have at least spent some time at the fantastic Canadian strip clubs, and then, as you said, live like
Huh.
Wolverine and eat beaver. But then you didn't have your ID or passport, so I don't know how you're gonna get into such strip
Yeah,
club. But
couldn't even prove my age or my nationality or my existence while I'm in Canada. But
oh,
you know,
Americans, we look American. We're not kidding anyone. We're not going like I'm pale, but I can't go to Norway and be all I'm Norwegian because they'd be like, no, you're a
no,
fucking American. Yeah, you can't. We can't
yeah,
hide that shit.
they could see the Americanness. I mean, like I was getting
Well,
stares the entire time.
and then you're like double because you're
Mm.
also from Florida, where
Yeah,
like even America doesn't want to say that Florida, are Americans. So, um, but
it's attached to us. It's not us.
it's we don't. They're really what we call like the step cousin. Uh, if there's not more to the Canadian story, I also have to talk about you being a turncoat and really
Yeah.
getting into Dark Souls 3,
Oh yeah.
which disgusts
I don't know why. I'm proud of it. I am proud of this achievement. No, there's not much more to Canada besides I had Tim Hortons 3 times in a row within like a 14-hour period.
that's the way it should be, really.
Yeah. Oh, they have amazing donuts. That
When
they get food right up in Canada. I'll tell you
yeah,
what.
when we went to Austin for the United States Grand Prix, right outside Austin, there's it's called like not Little Rock, but it's like Little Rock, Big Rock, some rock, whatever. But they
A
have
Rock. Yeah.
it's a city with rock in the title, and they have like a gigantic donut that's the size of my head, so you can like look through it. And even as healthy as I try to eat, if we go there, we have to stop there and get one. And whether try to share it, whatever, you have to get it. So I agree. Like you go there, Canada, you have to get Tim Hortons just to make
Oh
sense
yeah.
not to it.
I'm telling you. But yeah, I don't. What's the holdup here, buddy? Dark Souls is a lot of fun.
Oh well, I
I gotta
think
say,
I think you think Dark Souls 3 is a lot of fun because 1 and 2
yeah,
are
are not as
complete
fun.
bullshit. Yeah, and I've actually had another friend of mine, uh, got into Dark Souls 3 also, but he's on the Xbone. But he was talking about it, and he's like, "Oh yeah, I get up with like 3 people, and somebody tries to come in
Mm.
and gank us or whatever, and we teach them a lesson and stuff like that." And he says,
I
uh,
mean,
"It's not easier. It's just a little more forgiving." So like my biggest complaint with Dark Souls 2 is if I went over to an area and I was fighting some boss or whatever and I died on that boss, I would lose HP. And I was like, if I couldn't beat him with full HP before and now you're taking HP away from me, how am I supposed to beat him now? Like just magically I get better? Like no. So what
there,
what
there
what
is an
took what
enemy.
took you what took you to the next spot to be like I'm Dark Souls 3 is now tolerable.
Ah, we're talking about the magical clicking point that apparently happens to people that play. Apparently, there's a subsection called Souls likes. Souls games are considered Souls likes because it's like Dark Souls. I don't know, but uh, let them have it. Let them
I'll let
have
him
it.
have it. Yeah.
It's like naming different genres of like grunge. Oh, it's shoegaze, bro. Like it's Souls like.
Oh,
So Well, the clicking point for me was okay. So I started the game, and immediately I got those familiar sensations of regret that I got when I
Yep.
had originally played Bloodborne.
Yep. Sounds about
Which,
right. Yep.
yeah, if you remember, I bought Bloodborne, played one day trying to get through the same what I estimate to be hour section
Hmm.
endlessly, and then I returned it the very next day. I was like, I don't fucking get this. I don't get how this is fun. But Dark Souls kind of did a little bit of like that at the beginning. Got past the first boss fight, and I'm thinking if the first boss is like unforgiving and unrelenting, then how am I going to fare the rest of the game? But the more that you start to learn about shortcuts in the levels and enemy patterns, you got to think of death not as punishment like it is in most games, but more. And I can't even say learning tool. I like to think of it like you are a scout, and every death is you scouting out more of the level, learning more about the enemies. By the point that you get to the level and you run through it like it's the back of your hand, you intimately learn the areas in this game. And that's kind of the give and take that people don't get because most modern games you just plow through. You just rip apart your enemies. Like Devil May Cry, it's difficult, but I'm ripping through everything like I'm a demigod, God of War, exactly like that. There's no real stop gate. Sure, you may die a few times, but you're not dying like you are in Dark Souls. It's cool and yet a little modern at the same time. Like,
Yeah. I don't think that I will at all. I can't say never try it. Maybe I'll put it on GameFly, but I won't be buying it.
yeah.
But I did get
Mhm.
Dark Souls 2 or 1. I can't remember which one it was, but I actually made it to a boss, and I may have beat the boss. I can't remember if it was 1 or 2. Um, but I agree with you where the scout idea. If I played it more, I'd probably get it. Uh, but I agree with you saying it's not Devil May Cry and it's not a hack and slash. That's why I don't think there's an easy mode, is because you're not
Mhm.
supposed to be able to slash your way through. It's not that type of game. And
No.
I'll even admit that. But From Software has a game that's fantastic. That's a hack and slash. Have you ever played Ninja Blade?
Ninja
Ninja
Blade?
Blade. So check it out. Ninja Blade was on the Xbox 360, only for the Xbox 360. From Software made it. It's hack and slash with a ninja. You have different powers, big boss battles with a bunch of QTEs that you can like jumping from a plane with motorcycles, and it's a fantastic game. You kill people, get souls. I think it's not like Dark Souls, but it's a hack and slash. But From Software did it. It's called Ninja Blade. It's a badass game. I don't have a 360, and I kept a few games, like 50 Cent, Blood on the Sand,
Sick.
and very classic. And I kept like the Alan Wakes because I like the Alan Wakes. I kept,
They're good.
um,
I want another one so bad.
oh yeah, and I think it's great that they have backwards compatibility now because
Hmm.
I probably will play that game. And then I also kept Ninja Blade because that game's sick.
Ninja
Um,
Blade. All
but
right.
just recently, I went to for some history for everyone. I don't know if I met Kevin, if I met you before, and then I was like, oh, I've met you before, but it was at Level Up Expo here in Vegas.
Yeah,
I don't know if I
you met
met you
me at
here.
Level Up.
Okay, so this is where I first met you.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, I went to Level Up 2 days ago, and
You did.
it's grown a little bit. I don't think enough to
Okay.
say, hey, you guys should come back, but because it's kind of expensive. Wife looked at a booth and it was like $800, and it's only 2 days. Um, and so $800 for 2 days is kind of steep.
No,
And
that is
but
steep.
it was pretty busy. It was pretty busy, and but I don't know if you guys will make your money back. Not yet, but just so you know, it is getting up there. As my hand is from
Okay.
the. Um, I went there and I picked up. My big thing right now is looking for Sega CD and black box PS1 games, and I could eBay
Mhm.
those all day long. But I'm like a treasure hunter. I like to hunt for that stuff. I don't like just doing eBay unless I really have to. Uh,
Yeah.
Came back with neither. People thought their Sega CD was worth like $170, and I'm like, it's a Sega CD, man. You need to calm down. Like you don't. It's not $170 worth of an item there. Uh, but I was talking to you about my anime body pillow that I want to buy, the
Your waifu?
Dakamakaru. The Dakamakaru.
Yeah.
Remember I was talking to you about that?
Yeah, I do remember.
Yeah. So
Unfortunately.
you're supposed to get me one.
I can't forget.
You went to,
Okay.
all those anime expos and never picked me one up, and
Yep.
I'm still not mad at you. I'm just disappointed that you didn't pick me one up. Uh, but some chick had some, and I couldn't find the perfect one. But they ranged from $30 up to, I think the most expensive one was like $150 or something. And they had two of them that actually have, they call them like oni holes or something, which you can only assume what those holes are for. I did not buy those.
Cup holders.
Then you know the secret.
I've always known.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was gonna get one, but then my buddy I was with is like, "Oh, I'm going to Japan in August," and I was like, "Oh, then pick me one up." So I'm kind of looking forward to getting one, and I'm kind of afraid to the one he's gonna get me. But at least he knows an idea of what I want. Just some weird, she has to be naked anime character on a body pillow. I don't know.
Yeah. Does it have to be double-sided? Are they traditionally double-sided?
Yes.
Like you
Yes.
see the back angle? Really?
Yeah, and that's the only reason. There was one that I liked, but it was a chick's front, and then when you turned it around, it was just another chick and then her front, and I was like, oh, I don't like that. And then
ruins the illusion.
It was a great picture on both sides, but it wasn't what I was looking for.
Okay.
But then the really dirty ones were like front and back, and those are the ones with the holes, and I was like, I'm buying this as a joke, and I don't even think it's too funny for me to even have holes in my pillow for the purpose they're supposed to be for, of holding, beverages. And I was like, that's even too much for me. So,
I hope those holes are reversible. My God.
Yeah. Well, there's two. So
yeah, for that. Two. All right.
So, did you at all play the Overwatch beta at all?
I did at all. I did.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give the floor to you, and you can kind of tell me what you thought about it, and then I'll rebuttal whatever.
It seems people
before you even started. Yeah, I really liked it. So let me know what you think here.
Like I said, it seems like people are going pretty crazy about it, as if they haven't seen this before. And the only thing that I really walked away from was that I was like, this is just Team Fortress to me.
Yep.
This is another Team Fortress game.
It is.
But I'll give it this. It's well polished. It is. The characters are interesting to use. It's just, as far as shooters go, it feels a little slow to me. Enemies can take a lot of damage, and you very much need to be working in team. But most of my experience playing the beta was just nobody hops on chat, running around and doing poses, and then it's kind of chaos. I didn't fall madly in love with it. It's good.
I originally made the mistake of comparing, being like, oh, I'm either going to buy Battleborn or Overwatch, because I thought they were both MOBAs. But my very first game of playing Overwatch, I was like, oh, this isn't a MOBA at all, because I didn't do any research on Overwatch at all. I played the Battleborn beta, and I kind of enjoyed it, and I was like, oh, I'm going to choose between Battleborn or Overwatch, and I'll choose which one I like more. And then I came back, and I was like, man, these are not the same games at all. But I love Team Fortress. I love it. But I'm not a PC game. I don't play on my PC very often, and I kind of need that game on consoles where I could be competitive. And Overwatch really hit that itch for me. And when you say it seemed kind of slow, I liked it because it actually gave you an opportunity to, if you're a healer, you have to be able to heal your teammates. And if they die too quick, what's the point of even having a healer?
That's true.
And I did notice that nobody hopped on chat. There was a few people that hopped on chat, and they really didn't have anything productive to say, so it really didn't matter. But I liked it because it was slower than Battleborn. When I played Battleborn, it was all over the place. Nobody was on chat. There seemed to be kind of some strategy, but I could even get strategy going on Overwatch. The only thing I didn't like on Overwatch, and if anyone's curious about my overall impressions, I put it on the blog, so nerdfarmblog.com. You can, when you actually watch this podcast, you can click on over and you can see my Overwatch beta impressions that I had for it.
Let's go to the next level. Have a banner ad show up on the bottom of the screen. They can just click on it during, or maybe scrolls through your face. We need to work on this brand.
Well, and not only that, but you can do it's a YouTube video now, so we can actually even put if they are
Yeah.
so inclined to watch the YouTube video, you can put the link on there. I just need to find the right time, whenever the
And
timer is
then
on.
earlier in the can you call this a podcast at this point?
Oh yeah,
What
it's
is
a
this?
podcast. Oh yeah, this is a podcast. We're podcasting.
Is vidcast not TM'd yet? Trademarked?
It could be. I bet it
Let's-
is.
We're on the vid right now. No, earlier we can do waifu banner ads as well because we kind of did a pretty solid plug for them. 2
Oh,
holes.
okay. Two holes.
2 holes. Yeah.
And
So
I'm actually gonna show some like Google pictures of it too. So
so what was the major problem that you had with Overwatch
so um,
that you would say?
right now, I never want to use the word balancing. Like
Yeah.
in COD, people are like, oh, you have to balance these weapons. In Call of Duty, if a weapon's that strong, then use it, right? It just makes
Right.
sense. But
Yeah.
when it comes to a team-based playing, you can't have one really strong player because that's all the people are going to play. And if you have to have the balance of the players, and there's 21 of those heroes. My biggest complaint was some of them need to be balanced a little bit better, and you could tell when you would see more than one. So on a team of 6, you would see 3 or 4 of that hero, and I'm like, time out. If you're seeing 4 of this hero and the team wins, it's like there's a problem. So one,
Oh, drop my phone.
don't. All right.
I'm back.
The screen's on me. Nobody can see.
Good.
There shouldn't be only on one team. There should only be allowed to have one hero. You can't have multiple heroes, because then it would come down to when we were. A lot of people you'd see multiple of. You would see multiple tracers. You would see multiple divas. You would see multiple like Soldier 76, just stuff like that. And Soldier 76, I think, has the most bloated kit out of any hero there was. He has an AOE heal, so he can heal all his teammates. He has a very good rifle with that does very good damage, an assault rifle,
and unlimited sprint.
Well, it's almost unlimited. It's very long. Like
Almost.
He can sprint to an objective. That's how long the sprint lasts. And then when he goes and does his ultimate is a one-shot, one-kill, automatically aims. Like, come on now. Come on. So, when we were defending...
Well, wait, was he the one-shot, one-kill? That wasn't Soldier 76. He has it where his reticle stays, and you don't have to aim it at anything.
You don't have to aim at all. But it's like, just hold the trigger down, and you hit multiple people, because you can't miss.
It's great.
So, yeah, it's not one-shot kill, but you can't miss.
It is strong. Yeah, he was overpowered, because I remember you writing a tweet about that. I was like, let me try him out real quick. And I was like, yeah, I'm actually enjoying the game more now, because things are dying way quick. Yeah.
But then it was like as Soldier 76, you're like, oh, I'm getting hit. Allow me to throw down my AOE that heals everybody around me, and it has a cooldown of 8 seconds. So like I throw it down, I sit in it, and then by the time it's done, I can throw it down again. So his kit needed a little work. And then if you were defending, if the team was smart, they would put up multiple. His name's like Togrin, the dwarf with the turret.
Turrets. Yep.
So I played a game where there was 4 of the 6 people had turrets, and they were just defending. And it was like you can't get into that with 4 level 2 turrets. You can't get in there. And so that was my biggest complaint, is a little balancing on some of the kits, and then you should not be able to have more than one hero. My buddy Nick said that there's a few game types, he played on PC, that say you can only have one type of a hero. I was playing like quick play, so I never got to see. There is a custom game, but I never tried it. So maybe if you go into the custom games, you can pick something that says you can't have multiple heroes or something. But I enjoyed Overwatch more than Battleborn because it's a little bit slower. I like the heroes. I love Team Fortress, so it really fit me. My biggest problem is the price. 21 heroes. I think it's around 12 maps for $60. That's asking a lot. I mean, so
it's true. And there's no inherent campaign. The story has even been kind of removed from the disc, and it's more provided through content on webisodes and comic books and all this other media that I'm just like, I need more to kind of give a shit.
The teaser trailer, the video, I don't think the story even made sense. Like it's like we used to be heroes and the people turned against us, but now they play on like a game show. It doesn't make any sense. So I don't think the story really even matters.
Yeah, and that's kind of what they were going for, I think. But
yeah, it doesn't make sense.
Play the full release of Battleborn, or did you play the beta?
Just the beta, because I didn't.
Same here.
I didn't want to just like that. I know it has a lot more content. I think Battleborn is worth $60. I mean, you got co-op campaigns, multiplayer, bunch of different heroes, bunch of different ways to play. So I believe that game is about $60. But I played enough of the beta where I was kind of like, I really like Gearbox. I love what they do. I liked playing it, but it was a little too quick, a little too hectic, not enough strategy for me. Whereas when I went to Overwatch, seeing each hero's actual moves, the maps are really made really well. The matches were well paced, stuff like that. So it kind of hit all those cylinders. I needed a good competitive game, whether it's first person shooter or whatever. I needed that, and it kind of clicked, kind of hit that itch. So rumor is there's a $40 Overwatch in the works. I don't know what it's going to have, but I may wait to pick it up.
What would that mean?
Well, because
$40 version
on PC, they I guess they're going to have a $40 version on PC. So I don't know what it means, but a console gets the shaft. We get $60.
Yeah, we always get the shaft. Well, it's funny you should mention the competitive itch you're talking about, because I think I found a game that scratches it pretty well, and people have been very mixed about the multiplayer, which I'm just kind of like, I'm not sure why. Doom. I've been playing some Doom.
Yeah, and I've been hearing good things about not only Doom but the Doom multiplayer. I just want to finish. I want to finish Uncharted first, and then I'll pick up Doom.
Yeah, I got to get back into Uncharted. I'm not even. I'm like halfway through Uncharted.
Well, go ahead and talk about Doom, because I'm going to talk about Uncharted. We'll go over Uncharted. I'll tell you what chapter I'm at. Let everyone know there's spoilers. Let me know about Doom. I've been hearing good things about Doom. Just like you, everything's been kind of mixed, but I've only heard good things from my close friends, for people who I really I like their input. So
you like the taste. You like the way they move. I get it.
I like them.
Well, Doom is the truth. I enjoy Doom. Doom is the kind of game that I've been waiting for this console generation for a good long while, which is a really well-made, polished AAA game that's just stupid as well. It doesn't take itself too seriously, but it's made seriously. It's such extreme fun. Okay, so we'll just start with the campaign. The campaign alone is one of the more interesting FPS campaigns I've played in a while, and we both got down on Wolfenstein, I remember.
Oh, I love me some Wolfenstein, yeah.
Yeah. This takes it to the next degree.
All right,
it's that same kind of style, very kinetic. It's not a cover shooter. There's no cover you can take in the game, and the only way that you can get health is by power-ups, throughout the level. Or you just get good at killing.
Yeah.
Now, it does this thing where they kind of flash and do this kind of staggered motion when you do enough damage on enemies, and then you can do your kind of an instant glory kill is what they call it.
Okay, I was like execution.
It's an execution, essentially.
Yeah.
I like the glory, but it changes the kill that you see depending on where you're looking on the enemy. So, if you're at eye level, you're going to obviously attack their head. Chest. Legs, you might do a sweep and then stomp them on the ground. Or if you're anywhere lateral, above them, you will drop down and do a vicious kill. And you can chain these together, and then they'll give you a health drop for doing those kinds of kills. So that's kind of your combo.
Yeah. Now,
between kills.
There was a game that did that back in the PS1 era. Are you familiar?
I think we talked about this.
Possibly.
Which one?
So, just go take a guess. Which game did the execution, and depending on what side of the enemy you were on back in the PS1 era?
Oh man, And it came out, right? It wasn't that game like Kill Strain
Nope,
or
no.
Kill something,
This is
right?
PS1, and it's you're a
PS1.
ninja.
Ah, you're a
Oh
ninja.
yeah. All
What?
right. I like ninjas, as you can tell.
You
We this
do like ninjas. Holy shit.
this podcast has been Ninja Blade, and then now we're going to talk about
Banner ad right
uh,
there. Ninja,
Banner
like
Ninja
ninja
Blade.
games.
From
Like
soft
fruit,
from
fruit ninja.
From Software should just give me
Yeah.
Dark Souls 3 because I plugged them like 3 times this podcast. I don't even like them, and I was From Software.
I mean, like
Give me
these sons
games.
of bitches. Give me games.
I don't even like you. Give me your games. No, but Tenchu did this. So if you snuck up,
I forgot about Tenchu. I played a bunch of
yeah.
Tenchus.
So if you snuck up on the enemy, and if you
Yeah.
were right behind him, you would either like grab their necks and snap their neck, so maybe stab them in the neck. But if you were on the right side of them, sometimes you grab their arm and like break their arm. If you were on the the
Yeah.
left side, you come up and you would stab them in the belly. So you could change the way. And if you were like crawling behind him, you could do like a flip over and stuff. And if you were over top of him, you come down and do that ninja flip. And so depending on where you were around that enemy in Tenchu, that's how you would that's how you could defeat a bunch of enemies.
Oh,
All the way back,
Tenchu was ahead of its time.
all the way back in the PS1 era. Yeah, they were doing glory
Yeah.
kills. Yeah.
God, I need to play. We need to bring back Tenchu. What's
Well,
going on
here's what I'm thinking. Here's what we are going to do. Either when I make it to Florida or when you
Bring it
make
back.
it here to Vegas for a weekend, whatever, we will be playing just like
Yeah.
a shit ton of video games. You're like, I want to go see the strip, and I'm like, no, probably gonna play video games all weekend. Just so you know,
We're gonna play
we're gonna play
Tenchu.
Tenchu. We're gonna play Dino Crisis. We're gonna play. I mean, it's just gonna be.
Oh, don't you say the DC?
Yeah, and I'm gonna find ways. I do have streaming software.
Yeah.
Not software, but like a box that can stream our PS1 games, stuff like that. So, but whether we spend a day, whatever.
I'm about it.
Either I come to Florida, you come to Vegas. We will do that where we're just gonna start gaming, just like the shit out of everything. Because you need to play Incredible Crisis too. Every human being should play Incredible Crisis.
Yeah. Okay.
So
I know.
uh,
I know, buddy boyo.
But back to Doom. Did you do the level 2 secret where you played the regular Doom level? Did you do that?
No, I didn't.
Okay.
And I saw a video of where it was too, and I was looking at that area and playing around. I have been collecting the little Doom guys. They look like Funko Pop
Yeah.
kind of Doom dudes, which is great.
Which I think
And that's been fun.
Bethesda put them in Wolfenstein also. I believe they're the same guys.
Mhm.
So Bethesda.
Nice.
Bethesda.
The multiplayer, I got to say, in Doom is actually really satisfying.
Now,
it is.
I was never really good. I loved Quake and I loved Unreal, but I was never that good at them. And I think you can tell by my reflex speed, whatever it is. I'm very like thoughtful and too much thinking. Right? I'm too slow for those games. How does Doom stack up between like Quake and Unreal? Is it really fast? Is it just the right speed? How do you feel about it?
I think it's pretty fast. I mean, there's no sprint, but your characters move pretty quickly.
Yeah.
But there's kind of it's just like a mix of. It feels a little Halo-ish, is the thing, where like enemies have they do have big health, but there's a satisfying crunch to the combat. Fighting them is amazing. Although the one complaint that I have, there's a bunch of weapons in the game, but honestly, shotgun all day.
Yeah.
Because they have like this assault rifle that literally does like little pecks to the enemy, pecks to their health. I'm just like, no, I'd rather turn this into a shotgun melee fight. There's this other gun too that kind of combat. I've seen some complaints about it where it's like this almost electric sniper rifle kind of thing that does like ruin the enemies. And it's like, well, for the multiplayer, the best advice to give you is just continue moving, keep on moving.
Yeah.
And then in order to use that adequately, you have to completely stop, which kind of kills it. Where I'm like, why would you put that in there? Just make it rocket launchers and shotguns all day long.
Yeah, and people get good at sniper rifles. Like people are just stupid with sniper rifles, and I learned that I am not good with sniper rifles. But playing back to Overwatch, there's two snipers, Hanzo and the Black Widow.
The Widow, the
Widowmaker.
Widowmaker.
She's called Widowmaker. And people are just good headshots all day. And I So I pick them up and I'm like, dude, I just do not get it. And that, even with Team Fortress, people would just destroy me with the sniper, and I just couldn't do it. So I have to be like the support character who can take some hits, get in the right spot. But like you said, even in Overwatch, if you don't want to get hit by the sniper, just keep moving. Um, so I
Yeah.
can see it a little bit.
And then you have the addition of being able to play as like special demons in the middle of a match,
Which is cool.
which depending on the mode, it's great fun. There's this one mode that's basically kill confirmed, where you gotta like rob the
Yeah,
souls of dead Doom guys. And every other mode, the demon's on a timer. You can either kill it with enough damage, or it times out and it's out of the match now, which is fair.
yeah,
In Soul Taker, the demon has no timer. So you can literally have a team that just protects their demon, and whoever gets near insta kill, whole team robs up, all the souls.
yeah,
And it's a racket because whoever gets a demon at least twice in a match, they win. They won already.
yeah.
There's no going back. They can do so much damage with any demon that it just makes the match just like one-sided. So I wish there was a little more balancing to that, although it is fun to be like an overpowered demon god,
Yeah,
because you're just like ripping enemies in half. It's great.
and it almost
But
like begs the question: Are they going to listen to the community and be like, yeah, maybe we should adjust that? Because they may adjust it. They're a big company, have lots of money.
hmm.
They can make that stuff happen. So
Yeah, and you can already tell like every competitive game or anything that even has the slightest layer of multiplayer, they're going to try to make it an esports kind of regular. They've been pushing that with Doom. I've seen it,
if
so they have to
they
balance the shit out of it.
yeah, if they can continue to make Gears of War a goddamn esport, they can make Doom an esport. Like, who the
Yeah,
fuck is still playing Gears of War? And who cares about Gears of War as an esport? Like, come on now. Come on.
I don't know.
But,
Well,
I'm
part
going to
four
just.
is going to bring back that conversation.
Oh, God. I will
I
not
know.
take part in part four. But segue into cover-based shooters. Let's go right into Uncharted 4. Unless you have more to input, we can
Doom's
finish
good.
up the Nerd Farmcast episode 47 on Uncharted 4 here. So
Okay, so
everyone, if you have not played Uncharted 4,
play
you
it.
should probably stop listening. Just know the game's good. Okay? If you're thinking about I need a review or something, just play it. My biggest
Yeah.
suggestion is do not play Uncharted 4 unless you've played 1, 2, and 3. So
Yes.
if you're
Yes.
getting 4, don't even touch it. Play
Mm,
1, 2, and 3 because
right.
it's doing what a lot of the movies have done lately with Jurassic World and Star Wars, where they put a lot of attention to nostalgia. So go play 1, 2, 3, and then come back to
Hmm.
this. Then come back to this podcast, and we'll tell you can hear about our likes and complaints. Uh, Kevin,
That's a good plug.
There you go. See
I like it.
what
Mm.
chapter are you on right now?
I'm on chapter, I think, like third. Well, at one right after the 12 Towers. Do you remember that one where you first
Yeah.
get the Jeep?
So
That's where I'm at. I'm still
okay.
in the Jeep.
Because I'm on chapter 15, which is, I think, 2 or
Okay.
3 chapters after that one. Okay, so I won't
Yeah.
spoil anything from you. So I know a spot to stop, so I won't spoil it for you. So that's good. So I will stop anything after, because I'm a little bit after the Jeep, but like I said, it's only 2 to 3 chapters after that, so I'm on chapter 15.
Okay. I'll get there tonight. I was going to play tonight.
I'll probably play some tonight also, because I can't put the game down. I will say it's a great game. It's not perfect. I would say go ahead and let me know how you feel, and we'll see if we compare on it. If we agree on some things. The 92 or the 93 the Metacritic score, I wouldn't really pay much attention to. 92 is an okay number, I think, around the 90s, because it's definitely
means nothing.
Yeah, it's definitely an
game.
A game. Let's say like 90%, it's an A game. Like it gets an A.
Yeah.
But
well, first of all, did you hear about the whole shibah about Washington Post as the one unfavorable review?
Oh my God!
And even Troy Baker, who plays Sam Drake in the game, spoiler, his brother, he took to Twitter and supported the petition. And of course, he had to make an apology statement afterwards because he was like, I shouldn't really be getting into these fights. But the petition was to remove the Washington Post article. To be fair, I didn't read the review
I'm not gonna
I
read it, but
wanted to.
I heard by like some rumor that it was satire. If there's any
He
truth to that.
used to do the contrarian corner spot on IGN for a while, or one of the sites, one of the ones that you hate. But
Yeah.
I think you hate all the sites. It's fine.
I do like Kotaku at times, and I do
I
like
like
Polygon.
Kotaku.
I like
There you
Polygon,
go. See, we have the same taste.
but I hate
And sometimes I like
IGN.
Vice Gaming.
Oh, Vice Gaming is great. I should
Yeah,
say I like Vice Gaming because I like Vice in general,
yeah,
but I hate
yeah, yeah,
you know
yeah.
IGN, GameSpot, all
I
that stuff. It
know.
goes down. The list goes on.
I
This
know.
list goes on.
Goes on and on. But yeah, I read that he kind of had some shit to say about it. But I will say, to give you the Kevin corner about it, it is on a super professional level, it is the best looking game I've ever played,
Ever.
hands
Yep.
down. I can't think of any other game that has looked that good
It
and executed flawlessly. No frame rate problems, no nothing. It's just pure gold
it makes
to
it
the
so
eyes.
when I go outside, I'm pissed off because outside looks like shit and the game looks
Yeah,
fantastic.
looks like garbage and it smells, and the game doesn't
Yep.
smell. Um, we I like seeing this kind of Twilight Nathan Drake. First of all, let's talk about the production value on the narrative, how far Naughty Dog has come, even in comparison to the first three Uncharted's. Like this story is so naturalistic, so beautifully acted, so well filmed is the only way that I can say it. That the cinematography, as if there could be cinematography to a video game, but at the same time, that's the only word that I could use to describe it.
Yeah.
It's
So
gorgeous.
when I talk about or when I do get to Uncharted 4, since we're on it right now,
Mm.
we're talking about the production value, all that stuff. When you talk about that, Uncharted 4 is the best game ever. Like
Yeah.
the story is so good, and I am so invested in the story. And I love pirates. Like back in high school, I'm not going to tell you what my like junk email is, but it has pirate in it. I was big into pirates in high school, like huge into pirates.
Pirate
And
Slut 666.
exactly, pirate fat ass, whatever.
All right.
And fat would be PHAT, fat.
Ah.
Or fat pirate. Anyways, that's not what it is, but I should probably go like get fatpirate.com or something. Should I pick that up right now from
Right now.
GoDaddy? Just type that in. But to get back on, if I can remember my train of thought that we've gone off on the pirate thing, that's why I really liked Assassin's Creed. I think it's Black Flag, which is 4 or 5. 4? 4?
4. It's
Thanks.
4.
Loved it.
4, although it's technically the 7th.
Yeah, exactly. But I love that one because it's pirates. So getting beyond Uncharted 4 with all the pirate stuff, just like you said, the acting, the way it flows, like every chapter comes in, you're like, oh, this is a new chapter, and you're like, oh, I've been playing for 3 hours, and you don't want to stop, but you have to stop because you have responsibilities. Some of us do, anyways. But if
I got shirts.
if you were going on a review alone, it would be 10 out of 10, easy. Like, go ahead and give them an Oscar because they deserve it. And then I have a few complaints, but now that we were talking about the production value and stuff, it's the best you'll ever see, or not ever see, but that you have seen to this point.
I bar none. I think Last of Us pushed it last generation, but this one, oh my god,
that's when I first started playing Uncharted 4, and I was playing it, and it really made me miss The Last of Us. Like, I was like, man, all I was thinking was The Last of Us is such a good game. Because I'm playing with, I was playing Drake, and we're kind of walking around and searching stuff, and all I could think of is, man, I'd really like to be playing The Last of Us right now. But as the story progressed, I got more and more invested in the Uncharted story. But for a while, I was just kind of like, I want The Last of Us back so bad.
Me too. I if they can do that to the next Last of Us, oh my god, that would be phenomenal. So how do you feel about Nathan's brother? We've got a new kind of side along going on in this game.
So Sam's a great character. But I have no big complaints from Sam. The only thing that kind of bothers me is they some of their banter is good, and then some of the banter is like, I really don't need this banter right now. Like it's almost like the laugh track in a sitcom. Like, you don't need to tell me what's funny. and there are some times where they have some great comments, and other times their comments are like, "You guys are dumb." Like, what? I'm not a child. Uh, but I like Sam as a character. Uh, so I have no quarrels with that. I'm glad Soleil came back. Soleil is one of my favorite characters from the games. So
Yeah.
I'm glad Soleil came back. I'm glad to see Soleil. Um, but as for Sam, I think he's a fine addition. I have no real complaints.
That's just strange. 15 years, not mentioning his supposedly dead brother once throughout 3 games.
Yeah. Well, and he hadn't even said anything to Elena also.
About it,
So it's
which is
almost like
that's heavy.
it's almost like his deep dark secret, because I think he felt responsible for his brother's death, and it was like that demon in his closet that he couldn't tell anybody. Whether brought back too many memories, talk about it, I don't know. So I don't blame him too much. There's a lot of stuff I don't talk about to people that I keep hidden deep down inside for 15 plus years.
Your dead brother?
Yeah.
That you left in a Panama prison?
My skeletons in the closets. The stuff I did in Panama is my business.
Yeah, I understand.
Nobody know about it. So.
Well, I mean, that's the next podcast. We'll get there.
Especially now that I have like a government job, we got to keep all that stuff secret.
Anything involving Panama.
Yeah.
DL.
On the DL.
Got a deep six there, Burke.
Yeah. We saw what happened when the paperwork came out about Panama. We saw what all happened. The shitstorm that came from that. So.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong. I don't know how fresh I think it's the first Uncharted, where doesn't Drake make kind of like a lot of side jokes about how he just doesn't want to go back to a Panama prison? Wasn't that like seeded all the way back in part 1?
Dude,
I remember that.
I would have to go back to it. I don't remember.
Okay,
one,
I
2,
have to
3,
as well.
Like bleed together.
They really do. Although part 2 stands out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Although this one's already better. I gotta say, I haven't beaten it. I still think it's better.
Yeah, but it was like while watching the opening. So you finish the first chapter, blah blah, and then the opening comes out, and you're like, I just got goosebumps as they showed the sketches of the first one to Nazi zombies, into the Tree of Life, into El Dorado, and then the plane and and I was like, man, I'm kind of getting goosebumps right now even thinking about it, and it was just like, I really want to play those games again. But that's why I'm talking about earlier. If you haven't played 1, 2, or 3, you have to play them. You have to play them before you get to Uncharted 4. It's almost a requirement.
Play 4. Do not. I do want to mention something interesting. It happens early in the story, so it's not a big spoiler, where Drake is kind of reticent to take on like a salvage job that his buddy wanted to do just because he didn't have permits.
Yep.
And it kind of seemed like Elena was cool with it. She was just like, just wanted him to be happy.
Yeah.
She's like, go do that. Like, what's the major hang up there? Like, he's afraid of getting back into the adventurous life and losing Elena? Was that a problem in one of the earlier games? Was that kind of what kept them apart? I think part 3 kind of touched on that.
Yeah, at the end of 3, if I remember correctly, I'll have to watch. At the end of 3, I think Sullivan, if I remember correctly, said something to him saying, like, essentially to the fact of, don't fuck this up. Because I think at the end, Elena was talking about how she possibly couldn't live this life. And Sullivan was like, you have to make a choice. And then I think at the end, Drake was like rubbing his ring, I think, if I remember correctly, at the end of 3. And he's like, you have to make a choice. And he kind of rubs his ring. So I think that was him just, he made his choice. And I think Elena could see that he was thirsting for something more. But speaking of the Elena part, I did not pass the Crash Bandicoot level.
Me neither, actually.
And I absolutely love Crash Bandicoot. The Crash Bandicoot title is my ringtone. Like, I love Crash Bandicoot, and I didn't pass it. I wanted more chances at it. But when that
was
the glorious PS1 opening comes in, and you're just and then Crash Bandicoot came on. I was like, I'm already in love with this game. Like, how could you be more in love with this game?
One of the best parts, and it was kind of a callback. I don't know if you played Last of Us Left Behind DLC.
I
Did you get
did.
around to that at all?
I did. Oh
Remember the
yeah.
scene, the whole video game arcade scene, kind of like
Uh-huh.
harken back to the nostalgia of doing that. It's like they did it again and topped that moment
Oh
with
yeah.
Crash Bandicoot. It was just like, so I'm playing a video game that reminds me why I love video games.
Yep.
Reminder in a game while I'm playing a game. It's such an amazing call. Like Naughty Dog gets gaming, gets gamers. It's why I respect them so much as a studio. Why I want them to keep on going,
Oh, and just
and they will.
keep doing what they're doing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh, we're sitting here praising Uncharted 4 so much on the story, everything that Naughty Dog does.
Mm.
But I do have complaints, and the complaints that I have.
God damn it, Burke.
Yep.
What's going on?
The complaints that I have are what keep it at about an A game.
Okay.
Before I get
Instead of what's above A? S?
no, it's like an A game,
Like
so
the
like
Japanese?
90%. If you were to give it like a percent, you think, oh,
Okay.
it's an A game. It gets a 90%.
All right.
Other than
A.
being an A plus game, which is like 98, 99%. But here's the thing, like, I don't ever want to see a 100% game. Like, if you see like an A plus game, like that's it. You don't need anything else. I mean, that's the game has done it. It is. It's come back. It's the rapture. Like the game. It's Jesus. So
The pure 100% game.
yeah,
It's like as addictive as WoW, but as perfect and blissful as Philadelphia cheesecake bars, constantly in my mouth.
constantly, and so I'm like, I don't. When gamers complain like, oh, you didn't give it 10 out of 10, no game should ever be 10 out of 10. Like that is like that's perfect, and no game should ever be perfect, and there's no way a game is perfect.
Yeah.
So don't complain about not being 10 out of 10. Did you?
So what?
Before I go to my complaints, do you want me to talk about my complaints first, and just see if we have this, agree?
Complaints? One thing I'm probably not going to touch the multiplayer component, even if it is better.
I've
not
never
a big
played
fan.
the multiplayer. Yeah, I don't care about the. I'm not gonna even hit on it.
Don't really care about multiplayer in the Uncharted games. I think I tried it in 3 and I just found it too chaotic and gummy.
It's not
all at once.
Yeah, it's not good. So don't it has its fan base. I'm not interested, so we won't even talk about that. Just that's a whole nother game.
Gone. As far as in the campaign, nothing's really hurting the experience for me. No. What do you got for me?
All right, so here we go.
Drop it on me.
I'm going to, if I ruin the game in some way for you, I apologize. But I've been playing a lot of the Division. I haven't played the Division since Uncharted came out. The Division is a purely cover-based game, and it does it flawlessly. Like the Division has cover base down. Uncharted 4 does not have cover base. It does not have it down. So like, if you want to go from one corner to the next, I know exactly what you're talking about. No fucking sense how to get from one corner to the next. So you're like, oh, I want to go around this corner, and then Drake will just suddenly get up. He'll just like roll away, and you're like, I didn't want you to roll. I pressed up and circle to go to that next corner, and he's out. Or he'll like, you're sitting there hiding, and you're like, okay, go to that next corner. He'll just like stand up, and it's like, God damn it, like. But luckily, the stealth in Uncharted 4 is great. They did a great job with the stealth. Like, obviously, it's gamer logic. You can't hide in tall grass and strangle some dude. It's gamer logic. But as stealth goes, it's good. So, like, if you make the mistake of standing up real quick, they put a little diamond, like a Sims diamond above their head, and it gives you time to get back in cover before they see you. So that's good. So if you make mistakes...
The funniest thing is, Last of Us had really good cover-based combat.
And that's what I'm talking about.
It's confusing.
And that's what I was saying is, so when I was early playing, I was like, I really want The Last of Us. Like, I really want it back because their cover base was good. I don't know how they ruined it in Uncharted 4, whether it's making it more fluid to climb up on things or whatever they did. The cover base just doesn't work that well. Now, it's cool that some stuff gets broken. But going from, like, corner to corner, or if I wanted to go from a desk to another desk further down, if you can see my hands, you can't do that. You have to physically get up and then run to the next one and sit back down. So
what's funny is that's not even like what I really love about the Uncharted games. Like the combat is not why I look forward to it. It's there, and sometimes I end up you're right. Sometimes I view it as like an interruption between like, hey, I'm doing sightseeing and I'm climbing stuff.
Yep.
You need to give me my moment. I need to go solve a puzzle.
I want to solve puzzles right now. I want to go from
Yeah,
place to place. I don't
right.
want people bothering me. I don't need.
Hmm.
That's my other which comes up to more of the combat is the hand-to-hand combat is complete fucking garbage. Complete
Oh
garbage.
yeah, actually, yeah, I have such a big problem with that. The very fact that you can't counter
Yep.
kills me on the
Oh, dude.
inside.
So there are, and it was the big complaint when I had coming back at Resident Evil 4. So Resident Evil 4 comes out, and I can no longer walk and shoot at the same time. Like I understand the component where it causes some fear, but gaming has moved so far ahead that
Hmm.
standing still to shoot is no longer a thing. You can walk and shoot, like that's a thing now. I know it may not do that much to the game. So that's my complaint with Resident Evil 4. Now we have Batman, Arkham, all this stuff. Combat has evolved, and now so we have this hand-to-hand combat. You have to be able to counter. It's like if you want to dodge a punch, press circle, and you can roll. No, when I'm getting punched, I can never fucking roll away. Like I can mash on
No.
circle all I want. You can't roll to dodge a punch. And then when the first thing when Nadine is kicking your ass, that whole Nadine fight, I didn't even press square. I just let her beat my ass because I knew that she couldn't kill me. I was like, this
Yeah.
hand-to-hand combat is so shitty that I'm like, just Nadine, just beat the shit out of me because I know I'm not gonna land a punch because this hand-to-hand combat's fucking bullshit. Um, so that's what I'm talking about. So 100% game production value,
Hmm.
shitty ass cover system 99%, shitty ass hand-to-hand combat 98%. Like it's just tick 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 tick. Uh, the combat though is pretty good. I turned the auto lock
Yeah,
off because I wanted to get
I
more
do too.
headshots.
Yeah,
And so
yeah.
that works out fine. The biggest problem with the combat is if you're walking around with stealth and you take like everything but one dude out, right? And one dude sees you, suddenly there's six dudes, and they literally just appear. I was at like the very end of a level, and some guy saw me, and two dudes just popped up out of the grass next to me. I was like, where the fuck did you even come from?
They
And
were
then
sleeping.
Oh, dude. And then I crawled up like a big tower, took out the two snipers, and then I came
Yeah.
all the way back down the tower. And as on my way at the bottom, I landed, and the guy saw me, and suddenly there were two guys in the tower. When the fuck did you get in the tower? They just boop, magic. Three guys now
Yeah.
shooting you. Uh,
I mean, I find the combat so easy in comparison to like a game like Division that requires a lot more finesse and a lot more tactics that I just like I start a firefight in the beginning of every era. It's like fuck sneaking. Just bring out everyone at once, line up, you're dead.
see, you know me,
Yeah.
man. I love sneaking. I'll do stealth. I'll do stealth all day long.
Yeah.
Um,
I'm not a stealthy cat.
now when you're in combat, have you noticed just the magically appearing grenades that just appear out of nowhere? Nobody throws them, but they just kind of land up behind you.
I've had some grenade problems.
Yeah,
Yes.
and so
And they're always just to the side of me. They land perfectly just right there.
and you never know where they come from. They just appear. They're just boop,
Yeah.
magic grenades are next to you, and it's not like the division.
I've had
Go ahead. I was like, go ahead,
yeah,
seriously.
what do you call
Well,
it?
I was saying,
One enemy that I had to shoot off. Like I saw him like, oh, he's actually cooking a grenade. That's weird. I thought these came out of the sky. And then I shot him and he ended up like eating his own grenade, which
yeah.
satisfying.
But then the cover system is so bad where a grenade lands next to you, Drake either jumps away looking like an idiot or can't get out of the thing and just gets out of cover and he can't roll away fast enough. So that's my biggest complaint is like just the
Yeah.
magic, the magic grenades. And I think
That covers it for Uncharted.
I wrote them down. I
Are
wrote them
we
down the pad so I wouldn't forget them. And that's about it. And that's the only thing that really I think the way the game runs is perfect. Where they have kind of like tutorials, but they're not tutorials. Like you have to drive around in that Jeep for a long time before you have to drive like a maniac down a hill. Like they make you drive that Jeep for a very long time. Being a kid, kind of climbing and stuff, learning that mechanic is fun. Moves the story along. So that's all smart. Like you said, Naughty Dog gets gaming. Like they understand how to.
Yeah. They've been around. They've
They've been
seen a
around.
few stuffs.
They've been around for a while.
Yeah.
Uh,
And I want to see what comes out next from it. Is I have to get to this ending because a lot of people are saying like, no, I truly believe this is the last Uncharted. They make it very
obvious.
obvious that
Yeah.
this is the end. So I'm like, okay, I hope that doesn't mean,
That
death doesn't have to be the end for every series.
did
But I'm worried.
Yeah. I don't
Yeah.
want to spoiler on me, but I didn't think about that at all. But did does Drake looking different to you bother you? The reason I didn't put that as a thing that grades it down is because that's my opinion. It's not a game's problem. It's my opinion that I don't like the way Drake looks.
What, that he looks older,
That he
or
looks completely different. Like he to me he doesn't look like Drake at all. He just looks like another actor is playing Drake.
that's true. I think in their attempt to go for ultra realism, like even Sully looks a little weird to me. Like they all look a
Sully
little too hyper real. So
to me
their
Sully looks
characterizations aren't.
fine. Although I can see if there's an Uncharted movie, I could probably IMDb the actor that will play Rafe. Like I've seen Rafe in some form or another as an actual actor.
No, yeah, I think they definitely just mocap that guy's face.
Oh yeah,
That guy definitely looks very familiar. I was thinking the
yeah.
same thing. I was like,
hmm
"Damn, dude, what have you been in? Were you like in the background of Shaft? I'm pretty sure you
Dude,
were in
something.
Shaft."
If I was like, I can probably IMDb Uncharted right now and get like the voice actor for Rafe, and we can
Yeah.
probably find out what he's been in. I don't know, but I'll do that. I'll do that when we log off when we stop
Yeah,
broadcasting, so people
yeah.
won't have to.
Cross reference with Shaft, the
Um,
1998 or no, it was 2000 reboot,
what was
remake
that?
reboot.
Oh, you're being serious?
Yeah, yeah. You didn't see that one? It was great.
No,
It had Christian Bale, a dude that
no.
was on a John talking to him.
I probably will. I probably will see it now, though.
You should. I think Sam Jackson played Shaft.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
believe so. I believe so. Not as good as
There you
Black
go.
Dynamite, though. Black Dynamite.
I still got to see it.
You haven't seen Black Dynamite?
No.
Oh my god.
They took it off Netflix. How am I supposed to see anything if it's not on
Oh man.
Netflix?
Buy it because it's worth it.
What?
Yeah, it's worth it. Worth to own.
Owning
Black Dynamite.
content?
Yeah. You should see my collection. I am actually owning. I own a shit ton of movies that I watch every once in a while, but I love owning them, and Black Dynamite's one of them. But unless you have any more, we've been going for it has to be an hour. It has to be an hour.
It's definitely been an hour.
But
Yeah.
once again, even if you made it through all the spoilers,
Yeah.
do not play Uncharted 4 unless you've
With-
played 1, 2, and 3. Like, you have to experience 1, 2, and 3.
It'd be
And
meaningless.
in general, you should, because it's one of the best game series in gaming. You know, it's there with
Yeah.
Resident Evil. It's there with Metal Gear
Yeah.
Solid. It's there with, what's another great storytelling video game series? Yeah, I don't know. I can't. I guess Zelda.
Games tell stories?
Yeah, it's hard to believe.
That's new.
Not everything's a space marine with low gravity and rocket launchers. Not everything's that piece of garbage.
That garbage, Space Marine garbageness.
That garbage. But all right.
All
Well,
right.
until next time, farmers.
Wrap
I'm
it up.
Burke,
Yeah. I'm Kevin.
and everyone, be nice.